Isaac puts a brush atop the new structure, the king post truss. For a longer bridge, 2 king posts create a queen post truss. Another ancient custom is seen in Isaac's putting a brush on top of the new structure. Even nowadays, you will see workmen put a small tree or bush on the top of a new roof when it has been completed. That ceremony always calls for a round of drinks for the builders, and although we don't seem to know why we do it, we say it is just to give the house luck. That tree tacked atop of a new building goes all the way back to Druid lore, when men worshiped trees. On September 29th, 2015, Forrest said, "One of our tall cottonwood trees was maimed by a lightning strike and lost a big limb. I saw the whole thing. I was just standing there at our kitchen window watching. So now when there's thunder, Peggy and I and little Tesk run for cover." Peggy's grandmother once told me that just a millisecond before lightning hits, the hair on the back of my neck will stand up. It's a static electricity phenomenon, she claimed. When that happens, lightning is about to hit nearby with a jolt. But if I jump really high, maybe it will hit the ground while I'm still in the air, thus saving me from the fiery bolt. Of course, I don't know if that's true. She also said you shouldn't plant a weeping willow tree because when it gets big enough to cover your grave, you'll die. However, Peggy and I have such a giant willow that we planted as a seedling in 1988, and we're still vertical. Makes me suspicious of grandmotherly wisdom. November 11th, 2015, Downeatsel.com, scrapbook 148. Forrest wrote, "Soon I'll plant 200 pine saplings. There is always hope when old men plant young trees. Don't hail when north winds blow too soon across my pine trees tall and lean. Let's keep the warming days of June. Blueberries are red when they're green." August 16th, 2019, Downeatsel.com, scrapbook 204. Forrest wrote, "It was not unusual for black bears to be eating berries on bushes within short walking distance from us. When that happened, Mom would start singing. Dad said to leave them alone if they moved toward us, just give them space. There were plenty of berries to go around. That was in the 1930s and early 40s. I never heard of anyone being hurt by a black bear up there. Meeting a grizzly was different, but it was not something we worried about. If one ever wandered in to command the berry bushes, we surely would have retreated at a nervous pace. We never had to. Those were fun family times." From Noah's Journal, 20. Mrs. Adams and Sarah went berrying and visited us. They reported seeing a bear among the berry bushes, so I accompanied them home where they showed me how to make blackberry wine. Eric elaborates, "An early 19th century recipe for blackberry wine was found by the author of this book. It seems very simple to make. It had the amusing title, A Medicinal Drink for Summer Affections, and it read as follows." May 18th, 2014, Downeatsel.com, scrapbook 69. Forrest writes, "Occasionally I get an email from a searcher who presents a different twist to the story. I always get permission before forwarding it to Dow to post. This is one of those. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not hinting that the treasure is hidden on top of a rock with a bear guarding it." The rocking chair, an American invention. Most rocking chairs were plain chairs with rockers added in the late 1700s. The Pilgrim type, 1690 to 1700. The Comeback Windsor, 1790 to 1805. The slat back ladder rocker for Sarah Trowbridge, 1805. The Pennsylvania, 1790. The giant Dutch rocker from 1800, and the cradle type rocker from 1765. On November 2nd, 2013, at the Moby Dickens Bookshop interview in Taos, New Mexico, the first thing Forrest said was, "Well, I always thought I deserved a throne." "Do you think she will like to have her own chair?" asked Noah. Rachel herself had always wanted a rocker, so she was being honest. "I cannot imagine a nicer present." Rockers were not exactly new in 1805, but nearly all of them were converted chairs. Most of the rockers at that time were slat-back chairs with oversized rockers exactly like those beneath a child's cradle. It is quite possible that in 1805 the rocking chair was only 25 years old. Its origin is not certain, but it is American, possibly the only completely American piece of furniture. On May 4th, 2017, Forrest said, "Stop armchairing that thing to death and get out there in the trees where the box is. But before you go, look at the poem as if it were a map, because it is, and like any other map, it will show you where to go if you follow its directions."